This collision could be said to be a draw, but it made the eagle-eyed beast turn berserk. Especially when it saw the blood doppelganger standing opposite it as if nothing had happened, the anger in the chest of the eagle-eyed beast quickly burned. Amidst the thunderous snarls, the eagle-eyed beast entered a berserk state. The next moment, the flames around it doubled. Raging heat waves burned on the spot. A scorching airflow. As a result, the huge body of the eagle-eyed beast, which originally looked to be nearly 3 meters tall, suddenly seemed to have grown to nearly 4 meters. Its entire body had also expanded from its original length, reaching nearly 10 meters. Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger seemed pitifully weak in comparison. On this point, the mutated beast's body could be said to be terrifying. Under the attacks of some powerful mutated beasts, low-level martial artists would be devoured without even having the strength to resist. The air trembled. The flames around the eagle-eyed beast soared, and the temperature suddenly rose. As soon as it got close, Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger felt as if it was being roasted by large amounts of scorching flames. This fellow. Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger shook its head. It circulated its blood energy. Boundless energy gushed out and gathered in its hands, condensing into a saber. Swish! A blood-colored saber beam bloomed. The blood doppelganger suddenly stomped on the ground, leaving 2 deep pits on the ground. Its pure energy body immediately shot towards the eagle-eyed beast like an arrow. It raised the blood energy saber in its hand high and slashed down hard with great force. Ah-ooh! The eagle-eyed beast roared angrily. Its hind legs, which were even thicker than the blood doppelganger's body, bent abruptly. The ground beneath its feet sank a few inches before it suddenly jumped up. Thump! The ground shook violently. The huge body of the eagle-eyed beast soared into the air. It opened its huge mouth and bared its ferocious fangs. It extended its sharp front claws and was actually unafraid of the sharpness of the blood energy saber as they collided head-on. Bang! Amidst the intense collision, the 2 energies caused a tragic explosion. The aftershocks of the explosion spread to the walls of the cave and they shook. The blood doppelganger felt its hands go numb, and its body was pushed back by the rebound of the immense force. The saber energy that had just erupted was completely wiped out by the violent flames. With his previous experience, Su Jingxing did not panic this time. He immediately stabilized the body. The moment the blood doppelganger was pushed back, the blood energy saber was stabbed into the ground. Making use of the residual force, it retreated, the blood energy saber drawing a deep line on the ground. On this side, the eagle-eyed beast roared angrily. Under the impact of the saber energy, nearly 50% of the flames around it had dimmed. The might of the saber condensed from blood energy was not inferior to the wandering dragon saber in its spirit weapon state. Although the blood doppelganger only used it a few times, a deep scar had clearly been left on the front claw of the eagle-eyed beast. Fortunately, the eagle-eyed beast had astonishing defense. Otherwise, it would have been split into 2 long ago. After the eagle-eyed beast suffered a loss, its ferocity instantly decreased greatly. However, the anger in its eyes did not fade. Instead, it grew stronger. Roar! With a deafening roar, the eagle-eyed beast charged over ferociously again. Its huge body soared into the air, and the flames on its body burned fiercely, as if they would never extinguish. Its sharp claws tore through the air and descended on the blood doppelganger's head. This process happened in the blink of an eye. The blood doppelganger had just been pushed back and its body had barely stabilized for a few seconds when the eagle-eyed beast attacked again. When the front claw was about to grab him, Su Jingxing raised the blood energy barrier to withstand the blow. Swish! The air shattered. The eagle-eyed beast's sharp claws descended from the sky and pressed Su Jingxing into the ground like it was swatting a fly. Boom! There was a loud bang. Amidst the flying dust, a huge human-shaped pit appeared on the ground. Around the pit, the cracks spread on the ground like a spider web. The blood doppelganger was struck by this huge force, and its body sank deep into the soil, unable to move. It lost control of the blood energy saber in his hand and it fell to the ground. Swoosh! The blood doppelganger decisively curled up into a ball and calmed its energy body as quickly as possible. However, the eagle-eyed beast's attack was not over yet. Without any rest, it launched another attack. Bang! A dull thud sounded in the air. The eagle-eyed beast walked step by step to the human-shaped pit that the blood doppelganger had fallen into. Roar! A low roar rumbled like thunder. The eagle-eyed beast's hideous mouth was wide open. Its red gem-like eyes shone with excitement. It raised its claw and swung it down at Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger in the pit. Swish! 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 The air was torn apart, leaving a clear mark. Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger watched as the giant claw gradually grew larger, as if it was covering the entire world. I can't take this head on. Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger, which was curled up on the ground, suddenly exploded with a bang. That's right, it self-destructed. This eagle-eyed beast was clearly a high-level beast king. The blood doppelganger would lose its edge only when going head-on against high-level beast kings. Most importantly, Su Jingxing realized that the other party seemed to have seen through the timing of the power eruption. Timing was very important. A second faster or slower, the might would be different. The ability of the eagle-eyed beast was too magical. Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger was stunned that it had seen through its weakness, but this was within understanding. Su Jingxing did not intend to continue fighting it head-on. The most special thing about the blood doppelganger was that it could disintegrate at any time. It exploded into a pool of liquid. The eagle-eyed beast's attack missed. Ow! This big fellow was quite intelligent, but when it saw Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger splattered all over the ground, its mind couldn't react in time. The eagle eyes could see that this liquid was still alive, but this form of life was too strange and unimaginable. It simply exceeded its understanding. It stood rooted to the ground, at a loss. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Su Jingxing controlled the blood doppelganger to condense a huge fist and strike upwards from the eagle-eyed beast's chin. Heavy blood fist. 100% of its strength erupted. Ah-ooh! With a miserable howl, the entire body of the eagle-eyed beast was sent flying. Its head was first raised, then its body. Its huge body was thrown high into the air. Finally, it fell heavily to the ground, emitting a loud bang like a mountain collapsing. Boom! Boom! The ground shook. After a long time, the surrounding cave resumed dead silence. Su Jingxing controlled his blood doppelganger to turn back into human form. Looking at the eagle-eyed beast that was sprawled out not far away, he was amused. This fellow would not die so easily. The aura of the massive body did not weaken at all. The threat to Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger still existed. However, it seemed to have been stunned by Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger. It did not come back to his senses for a long time. Seeing this, Su Jingxing did not disturb it and turned to leave. Given the blood doppelganger's special nature, it was possible to defeat the eagle-eyed beast, but not kill it yet. In that case, Su Jingxing had no intention of playing with it. It was more important to find the black-armored men and extract the soul-splitting cards. Roar! A low growl came from behind at this moment. Hold on. At the same time, an angry voice sounded in the blood doppelganger's sea of consciousness. Powerful waterman, you win. Master left behind his last words. Anyone who defeats me head-on can enter. Strange waterman, where are you looking? Over here, that's right, it's me. The eagle-eyed beast, which had stood up, glared angrily at Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger. The blood doppelganger opened its mouth and asked strangely, are you talking to me? Who else is here besides you and me? The eagle-eyed beast shook its head and did not open its mouth. However, its angry voice continued to sound in the blood doppelganger's consciousness. This fellow could actually transmit its voice through the mind. Su Jingxing had never encountered a high-level beast king. This was the first time. Therefore, he did not know what abilities high-level beast kings had. The eagle-eyed beast's voice transmission could be a talent or an ability it had obtained after reaching a certain realm. For example, a transcendent grade martial sage's essence soul could travel through space. After a brief moment of surprise, Su Jingxing said calmly through the blood doppelganger, "I'm not a waterman, I'm simply human. My name is Huang Tianhua." Hee hee. The eagle-eyed beast sneered. "Human? Do you think I'm a foolish pig?" Huang Tianhua. "Alright, I don't care what your name is or what you are. In any case, you defeated me, so you are qualified to enter the martial domain and choose something. Let's go. Follow behind me. No matter what you see on the way, don't make any strange moves." With that, it turned around and wagged its tail as it walked deeper into the cave. Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger hesitated for a moment before deciding to follow. Since the other party had said so, Su Jingxing wasn't afraid of anything. Immediately, it put away the blood energy saber and followed behind. The black flame caves occupied a massive area. The caves in the center were also connected. Su Jingxing had been here twice, and both times, he was active outside the central area. This time, he was following the eagle-eyed beast. Before long, the blood doppelganger stepped into the depths. After walking for a while, it saw a crack on the ground about 7 to 8 meters wide. The crack extended to the left and right. It was unknown how far it extended. It was pitch black below, and faint fluctuations could be felt. Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger took a glance and did not take another look. It followed the eagle-eyed beast and leaped into the air. As the eagle-eyed beast passed through the air above the crack, a strange blue circle appeared in midair. Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger followed behind, passed through the blue circle and landed on the other side. When it turned and looked back, it realized that the path it came from was nowhere to be seen. What greeted his eyes was only a wall with unknown height and width. An illusion? The blood doppelganger wanted to sense it with its mental power. However, with the eagle-eyed beast's earlier reminder, it suppressed this restlessness. After taking a few glances at the wall, it retracted his gaze and caught up to the eagle-eyed beast that had entered a cave. This was a cave shrouded in thick fog. The eagle-eyed beast led the way in front. Fiery red streams of light swept out from its body, dispersing the mist and leaving behind a passageway. The blood doppelganger quickly followed. When they walked out of the cave, its eyes lit up. An even bigger, or rather, a huge cave that was more suitable to be called an underground space appeared in its vision. The entire underground space was 1,000 meters long and wide, and hundreds of meters tall. Unlike the dark environment outside, this place was like a field in broad daylight. For a while, the blood doppelganger did not find the source of the light. It only followed the eagle-eyed beast to quickly cut through most of the area and arrived at a polygonal altar that was about 10 meters above the ground. Huang Tianhua, right? Go over there and push the stone pillar with all your strength. The eagle-eyed beast sent a voice transmission. It looked at the edge of the altar, at a stone pillar about 2 meters in diameter and 70 to 80 meters tall. Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger did not respond. Joy emerged in its eyes. All because. Card +9. The Black-Armored Men. Around the altar stood 9 black-armored men. The 9 black-armored men were motionless and silent like electric poles. Everyone's position happened to be parallel to each of the corners of the altar. Compared to the 9 black-armored men, the stone pillar at the edge of the altar was no longer that important. Huang Tianhua, have you gone dumb or deaf? Seeing that Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger was motionless, the eagle-eyed beast sent another voice transmission. If you've gone dumb, let me eat you. It's a sin to waste an opportunity. The corners of the blood doppelganger's lips twitched. Neither happened. May I ask what's going on with those 9 black-armored men? Which one? The eagle-eyed beast turned its head and looked around. After locking onto its target, it sent a voice transmission calmly, "You're talking about the Black Martial Guards. They are soul weapons left behind by Master to protect the altar. You don't have to care about them. Go push the stone pillar." Soul weapons? Black Martial Guards? Are these Black Martial Guards all dead? Asked the blood doppelganger. Half dead, half alive. The eagle-eyed beast shook its head. I'm not sure about their exact condition. Huang Tianhua, why do you have so many questions? Hurry up and push the stone pillar. If you don't, the opportunity will be wasted. Last question. Seeing this, Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger quickly asked, "What will happen when I push that stone pillar?" You'll know once you do it. In any case, there'll be nothing bad. The eagle-eyed beast grinned, its gaze full of smiles. If you're afraid, you can choose not to push it. To me, it's no big deal to waste an opportunity. Alright then. Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger nodded and walked over slowly. Far away in the Unation's void world, the main body took out the 9 cards it had extracted and read them. And it turned out. Soul-splitting card. Soul-splitting card. All 9 of them were soul-splitting cards. Including the 3 extracted earlier, he now had 12 soul-splitting cards. Unlocking all 4 cards at the same time could give 1 shot of spirit annihilation. 12 of them were just enough for 3 shots of spirit annihilation. His biggest trump card was in his hands again. Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger walked up to the stone pillar happily. It circled the stone pillar and checked its situation, but found nothing. Without looking further, it pressed its hands on the stone pillar and gathered its strength to push. No reaction. Pushing with 10,000 caddies of strength, the stone pillar did not move at all. The interest of the blood doppelganger was piqued. It controlled its strength and increased it, pushing with 50,000 caddies of strength. In the end, there was still no movement. It continued to push. 100,000 caddies. Still nothing. Again, 150,000 caddies. This time, there was a strange movement, but it wasn't enough. It didn't even shake. More, 200,000 caddies. Crack. With a strange sound, the area where the tall stone pillar had sunk into the ground suddenly rose up. Crack. Crack. The strange sounds continued. Accompanied by shaking, the entire stone pillar rose about a meter from the ground. When it stopped, light orbs suddenly appeared on the empty altar. Swish. 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 The light orbs spun and jumped up and down. The number increased from 7 to 8, to a dozen, then to dozens. Finally, it was as if countless light orbs were dancing in his vision. However, after a flash of white light, all the light orbs suddenly disappeared. On the altar, there was now an oval-shaped cylindrical jar that was half the height of a person. "Huh, it's out, it's out." While Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger was still in shock, the eagle-eyed beast was already shouting excitedly through a voice transmission. It leaped onto the altar and leaned in front of the jar, sniffing it. This should be the blood of the capsule scale Kuei dragon. Huang Tianhua, you're quite lucky. Unfortunately, if you want to refine this blood, you'll have to do so with the green nether leaf. If you forcefully absorb it, you will only burn yourself to ashes. What a pity. The cries of the eagle-eyed beast were filled with schadenfreude. This capsule scale Kuei dragon blood is for me, asked the blood doppelganger as it leaped onto the altar. Yes. The eagle-eyed beast sent a voice transmission. My master left behind his last words. Anyone who defeats me head-on can come here and push the stone pillar to obtain a treasure. As for what treasure you get, it depends on luck. For example, you, Huang Tianhua, will get a portion of the capsule scale Kuei dragon's blood. The capsule scale Kuei dragon is a branch of the flame dragon race. Its blood possesses powerful incineration power. To refine it, the only way is to neutralize it with the sap of the green nether leaf. Of course, it would be best if you can suppress and refine it with your powerful cultivation. But I just fought with you. I'm sorry, Huang Tianhua, you don't have that level of cultivation required. The eagle-eyed beast let out a strange laugh through voice transmission. Therefore, even though you've obtained the capsule scale Kuei dragon blood, you don't have the ability to use it because the green nether leaf has long gone extinct. Ha ha ha. This fellow. Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger looked at the eagle-eyed beast speechlessly. Was it that funny that he couldn't use it? Can anyone do that? The blood doppelganger asked calmly, no matter what existence one is, as long as they defeat you, they can come here to draw the lottery. Pushing the stone pillar and exposing the light orbs, but not knowing what was inside the light orbs before one opened. Isn't this a lucky draw? As long as one isn't a god or demon. The eagle-eyed beast replied via voice transmission, also, what is a lucky draw? Nothing. Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger asked again, why did your master leave all kinds of treasures here for others to draw? I don't know, the eagle-eyed beast replied straightforwardly. This is master's order. I don't know why he's doing this. Is your master's corpse here too? Asked the blood doppelganger. With corpses, function cards could be extracted. However, the extraction notification did not appear. Huang Tianhua, what are you thinking of doing? The eagle-eyed beast widened its eyes and stared fixedly at Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger. It growled and sent a voice transmission. What does my master's whereabouts have to do with you? I was just curious. Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger did not insist. Since the other party had already given something to it for free, it would be a little too much to continue probing. Immediately, it came to the side of the capsule scale Kuei dragon's blood and examined it carefully. Take the jar with you. The eagle-eyed beast spat out a mouthful of scorching air and returned to its normal state. It sent a voice transmission. Otherwise, you won't be able to leave with the capsule scale Kuei dragon's blood. This blood. Its words trailed off. The eagle-eyed beast's eyes widened in shock and disbelief as it watched as Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger lift a mass of capsule scale Kuei dragon's blood from a distance and slowly fused it into its body. The moment it entered, Su Jingxing immediately felt an incomparably hot aura surging and sweeping through his body. However, because it was blood and blood energy, the unique power of the blood doppelganger quickly disintegrated, melted, and absorbed it. There was no need to match it with the green nether leaf. He could refine the capsule scale Kuei dragon's blood with his own strength. This scene made the eagle-eyed beast's eyes, which were flickering with golden light in the flames, open wide. It stared at Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger without blinking. How did you do that? Asked the eagle-eyed beast with a look of disbelief. Just like that. Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger held back its laughter and replied, isn't it very simple to draw it out and dissolve a portion of the violent aura before absorbing the rest? Simple. That's right, the process was very simple. However, that wasn't the way to look at it. Even the eagle-eyed beast couldn't guarantee that it could completely suppress the scorching and violent power hidden in the capsule scale Kuei dragon's blood. Yet Su Jingxing did it so easily. What did he rely on? What did he rely on? The eagle-eyed beast couldn't figure it out. The blood doppelganger did not say anything else. While maintaining its vigilance, it continued to absorb masses of the capsule scale Kuei dragon's blood from a distance. The blood doppelganger's unique power dissolved any excess and quickly absorbed the rest. The energy of the dragon's blood was much stronger than that of the blood-seeker beasts. The moment Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger absorbed everything, it suddenly trembled. From top to bottom, its blood body underwent a transformation. Su Jingxing put aside the specifics for now. He looked at the eagle-eyed beast and asked, "There's only one draw." "Of course." The eagle-eyed beast sent a voice transmission. "Everyone has one chance. No matter what you get, you are not allowed to come in again." Then Whoosh! A burst of white light suddenly emerged from the altar and swept up Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger, disappearing on the spot. "Heh, greedy waterman." The eagle-eyed beast despised him inwardly. The capsule-scale Kuei dragon's blood was absolutely unique in this world. Su Jingxing had used a strange method to absorb and refine it. It was impossible for him to get another portion of the blood. Outside the black flame caves, Su Jingxing's blood doppelganger appeared out of thin air. "I'm out." The blood doppelganger looked around in surprise. It was indeed out. A second ago, it was still in the center of black flame caves. In the strange underground space, there was a high-level beast king, the eagle-eyed beast. In the next second, it was wrapped in a ball of white light and brought outside the black flame caves. This method clearly involved spatial power. Space teleportation? Su Jingxing pondered in silence. So be it if the blood doppelganger was out. His goal had been achieved, and it had been exceeded. There was no need for it to enter the black flame caves again. The encounter with the eagle-eyed beast was still fine. It wouldn't be good if it fell asleep and dreamed for a few days like last time. Speaking of which, the deeper one went into the black flame caves, the more mysterious it became. Black martial guards that were half dead and half alive. An altar that could reveal treasures. The bright underground space that the eagle-eyed beast called a martial domain. A powerful spatial teleportation technique. All kinds of strange things made one curious and itching to unravel the mystery. If not for the fact that Su Jingxing was in a hurry to go to the little demon world, the blood doppelganger would have charged in again no matter what. As for now, he'd better put it aside. Nation. Su Jingxing's main body and essence soul did a swap. The essence soul returned to the void world to guard it. The main body headed to the depths of the demon's den with the divine weapon, the wandering dragon saber. Su Jingxing hid the 12 soul-splitting cards, 4 in each stack. He took out the heavenly demon card with a duration of 3 minutes, unlocked it, and transformed into a half-demon like Bale Tutor. Then, he walked into the door of darkness with his physical body. As he shuttled, he felt as if he was squeezed into a large ball of jelly-like soft substance. Above his head, beneath his feet, in front and behind were all soft and squishy. However, his movements were not affected at all. About 10 seconds later, he stepped onto firm ground. When he opened his eyes, Su Jingxing saw a world filled with demonic energy. Surging demonic energy could be seen everywhere like smoke signals. It was unknown how high the sky was, and how thick the ground was. In the sky, there was no sun or moon, only a tree. A giant tree with no leaves but branches like pythons covered most of the sky. "What are you looking at, Bale Tutor?" A strange tone sounded in his ears. Su Jingxing's heart skipped a beat. While maintaining his composure, he turned around and looked at the 2 bone demon beast half-demons walking over from the right. Su Jingxing could understand the half-demon's language. This was one of the gains from watching the memories of Bale Tutor. But he couldn't speak it. It was the same with the demon slaves. He could understand but couldn't speak. Their speech was not caused by the vibration of their vocal cords. Su Jingxing did not understand the principle behind it, so he naturally could not speak. As such, when the 2 half-demons walked towards him, all Su Jingxing could do was remain vigilant and chose to keep silent. "I'm asking you a question. Are you mute?" Of the 2 half-demons who had come over, the one on the left was slightly taller. At this moment, it was glaring at Su Jingxing with his dancing flame eyes. "What did you guys find on the other side of the door of darkness? Any gains?" How many humans did you kill? Su Jingxing remained silent. His gaze quickly scanned his surroundings to determine the number of demon slaves and half-demons. After all, this was the entrance to the door of darkness. There were hundreds of demon slaves and more than 10 half-demons gathered nearby. As for the half-demon overlords, he hadn't discovered any yet. Bail Tutor. Seeing that Su Jingxing didn't react, the taller half-demon yelled again, "What are you looking at, ID*OT? Didn't you hear? This is not Bail Tutor." The shorter half-demon on the right suddenly shouted, "It's not Bail Tutor. Grab!" Bang! There was an explosion. Before the shorter half-demon could finish its sentence, its entire body exploded, and countless bone fragments flew everywhere. Card +1. Wisps of demonic energy rose. With a surprise attack, Su Jingxing killed the shorter half-demon with a punch. Then, without stopping, he charged towards the taller half-demon. You! Bang! Another explosion. He was too fast. The taller half-demon was also blasted into pieces before it could even scream. Swoosh! In a flash, he charged towards the group of demon slaves not far away. Swish! Saber light bloomed and saber energy swept out. In a fraction of a second, Su Jingxing took out his divine weapon, the Wandering Dragon Saber. He circulated his mutated true essence and executed the 3 origin saber art on the group of demon slaves. Upwind single slash. Sweeping river army slash. Ascending dragon overlord slash. 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 Swoosh. 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 The saber beam was dazzling, and the saber energy continued, drowning all the demon slaves and half-demons. In less than 2 breaths, the area around the door of darkness was swept clean. The demon slaves and half-demons were all wiped out. Card +12. The bones that filled the sky scattered in the air like snowflakes. Su Jingxing held the Wandering Dragon Saber in his hand and stood rooted to the ground in silence. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Impressive. There's another one. Suppressing his surprise, Su Jingxing pushed off the tip of his toes and darted out at lightning speed, chasing after a half-demon. No, not an ordinary half-demon, but a half-demon overlord. In terms of height and size, the half-demon overlord was much more outstanding, not to mention that it had armor to protect itself. Swish! Saber light flashed. Su Jingxing swung the Wandering Dragon Saber at the fleeing half-demon overlord. The saber energy was like a rainbow, tearing through the air. In less than half a second, it had caught up to the half-demon overlord. Boom! There was an explosion. The armor on this unknown half-demon overlord's body shattered, its bones broke, and its entire body also turned into bone fragments that filled the sky. It was deader than dead. Card +1. A notification flashed past. Su Jingxing held the Wandering Dragon Saber in his hand and stopped in place, his eyes filled with surprise. Something is indeed wrong. He was a little too powerful. He killed a half-demon overlord with 1 slash. This strength was a little beyond his expectations. Previously, the Essence Soul had spent a lot of effort using the Wandering Dragon Saber to fight the half-demon overlord, Oxabel. Although the defense armor of the half-demon overlord was not as strong as the Thunder Dragon bone armor, it was not that weak to allow the body to explode with 1 slash. The Essence Soul couldn't do it, but the main body succeeded. What is the reason? Transcendent grade physical body, or mutated true essence. Su Jingxing pondered. Moments later, he put away the Wandering Dragon Saber and moved. No matter what the reason was, becoming stronger was always a good thing. According to Balatutor's memories, the demon soul fruit trees were located in the Demon Cloud Forest on the True Demon Mountain. The true demon mountain where the bone demon resided was more than 1,000 miles away from the door of darkness. The three ancient demons of the little demon world were the bone demon, the snake demon, and the sword demon. Every ancient demon owned a true demon mountain. A large number of half-demons and demon slaves were gathered on and below the true demon mountain. Therefore, if he wanted to go up the mountain and get close to the demon soul fruit trees, he had to be invisible. Su Jingxing had 2 invisibility cards, so he didn't have to worry too much. After the 3-minute duration of the heavenly demon card ended, he took out the invisibility card with a 30-minute duration and unlocked it. He then applied it to his body and instantly disappeared without a trace. His aura was also concealed. However, the effects were not as thorough as the ghost python breath-holding technique. Therefore, while Su Jingxing remained invisible, he circulated the ghost python breath-holding technique to hide any aura or vital energy fluctuations. After finding his direction, he soared into the sky and headed straight for the true demon mountain. He did not fly at the speed of sound and directly traversed through space. In his invisible state, his body turned incorporeal again. The 2 powers overlapped to ensure that no one would discover him as he moved through space. It didn't take long for him to cover 1,000 miles. The true demon mountain that the ancient bone demon was located was a huge mountain range that stretched for hundreds of miles. The location where the demon soul fruit trees grew, the demon cloud forest, was located on one of the peaks. Su Jingxing first flew above the demon cloud forest and found the exact location of 6 demon soul fruit trees. After confirming that the demon soul fruits were not ripe yet, he slowed down. There was no telling when the demon soul fruits would ripen. He only knew that it would be soon. Soon, but even the bone demon didn't know how long it would take. Therefore, in his invisible and ethereal state, Su Jingxing avoided the half-demons in the demon cloud forest and chose to hide in the crown of a dense ancient tree. He waited patiently. To prevent the demonic creatures from passing through the dark door and entering the demon's den again, the essence soul in the Unation's void world descended and traversed through space to pick up the blood doppelganger that was rushing back and bring it to Dongting Mountain. The essence soul returned to the void world to guard it, while the blood doppelganger went to the bottom of the demon's den to guard the door of darkness. After all, Su Jingxing had killed a team of demon slaves, a dozen half-demons, and a half-demon overlord. After the bone demon beasts discovered that, in their rage, there was a 90% chance that they would pass through the door of darkness. However, things developed beyond Su Jingxing's expectations. Nothing happened. The blood doppelganger guarded the door of darkness for several days, and no half-demons or demon slaves had passed through it. It seemed that none of the demons cared about the whereabouts of the half-demons and demon slaves that Su Jingxing had killed. This surprised Su Jingxing and amused him. Indeed, according to Balatuador's memories, demon slaves would fight and devour each other. Although half-demons were slightly better, their relationship was only average. As long as they did not affect other demons, no demon would care about them. Unless the half-demon overlord above forcefully gave an order. This saved Su Jingxing a lot of trouble. In the crown of the ancient tree, less than 200 meters away, he locked onto a demon soul fruit tree and waited for its fruits to fully ripen. Furious Dragon River. The longest river in the eastern continent ran through 3 countries. Among them was a section of the border between Jing Nation and Wei Nation. The north of the river was the Wei Nation, and the south of the river was the Jing Nation. At this moment, downstream of the waters of the furious Dragon River in the Jing Nation and Wei Nation, in the depths of a mountain peak that was hundreds of meters deep and close to the river. Humph, I knew that Kong fellow was up to no good. Luo Ao looked at the extremely quiet demon's den and sneered. Where is there any sign of a commotion? Don't be careless. On the side, the Wei Nation's martial sage shook his head and said softly, although the demon's den here hasn't erupted, the aura at the bottom is indeed stronger than before. That's the movement of demonic energy. It's been thousands of years, when hasn't it been like this? Luo Ao disagreed. As the martial sage of the Jing nation, it was his duty. After receiving Su Jingxing's reminder, Luo Ao immediately rushed to the demon's den that was located at the border between the Jing nation and the Wei nation to check on the situation. In the end, nothing happened. The demon's den was very stable. Luo Ao quickly left and returned to Jing nation. This time, Wei nation's martial sage was alarmed and invited him over again to check on the situation. Just in case, he made another trip. The martial arts cultivated by the martial sage of the Wei nation were somewhat special. He could forebode some important matters. It was precisely because he sensed danger coming from the demon's den that the two of them came to investigate. It's different. The Wei nation's martial sage pondered. It's different this time. Something is very wrong. Maybe you're thinking too much, or maybe you were frightened by that Kong fellow. Luo Ao sneered. When the demon's den on his side rioted, he suspected that ours would do the same. That's complete nonsense. The demon's dens are not connected, so how could it be possible for a commotion in one place to lead to that in the other places as well? In my opinion, everyone has been fooled by that Kong fellow. It's understandable that there are demonic creatures in the devil's den, but all that talk about the door of darkness is pure nonsense. Boom! Suddenly, the ground shook violently, and the entire mountain shook. In the calm passageway of the demon's den, surging demonic energy surged out like smoke signals, sweeping through the underground space. Impossible! Luo Ao's eyes widened in shock. That Kong fellow is telling the truth. The demon's den is really in chaos. If it's just the demonic energy surging, it won't affect us much, but if... The Wei nation's martial sage did not finish his sentence. But Luo Ao could tell what he meant. When demonic energy raged, it would at most contaminate the entire mountain. However, if the demonic creatures were to riot and crawl out of the demon's den, things would be troublesome. Demonic creatures, are there really demonic creatures? Murmured Luo Ao, his gaze fixed on the demon's den. From above, they avoided the impact of the demonic energy and looked down at the movements in the passageway. Hoo. Masses of demonic energy spewed out non-stop. Luo Ao and the Wei nation's martial sage glowed to resist the invasion of the demonic energy. The two of them guarded the entrance of the demon's den and kept their eyes on the passageway. Finally. Hiss. 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 A strange sound like a snake spitting out its tongue came from the passageway of the demon's den. It was getting closer and closer. Boom. Accompanied by a foul smell, a huge figure darted out from the cave and attacked Luo Ao. Swoosh! Without moving, Luo Ao released a ray of sword energy from his body and struck the figure that was charging towards him. Bang! The air exploded and light burst out. The huge figure was sent flying by the immense force and crashed into the cave wall, creating a pit. When it slid down the cave wall, its entire appearance was revealed. The lower half of the snake's body and the upper limbs of a human. It had arms, but above them was the head of a snake, the neck of a cobra, and the back of the head was arched. Its huge body was mainly more than 20 meters long and bloated. At this moment it was coiled up and sticking out its long snake tongue. Its cold gaze was fixed on Luo Ao and his companion. Roar! With a long roar, from the passageway, another one. No, 2, 3 figures. As soon as these 3 figures appeared, they pounced at Luo Ao and company. Together with the snake demon beast guarding at the side, there were a total of 4 demonic creatures. They surrounded the duo and launched an attack. Kill them! Luo Ao shouted angrily. Sword beams bloomed around him as sword energy shot out. The Wei nation's martial sage was about the same. His figure flashed as he charged left and right with 2 crescent blades in hand. Swoosh! 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 Plkch. 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 Sword beam, saber beam, sword energy, and saber energy filled the underground space. Although the four demonic creatures had astonishing defense, they were still no match for Luo Ao and company. They were slashed into pieces one after another, becoming deader than dead. The overflowing demonic energy lingered in the air for a long time. D*Ned demonic creatures. Retracting his sword energy, Luo Ao lowered his head and looked down at the demon's den. He focused his vision and pointed at the bottom of the den. Soon, his expression turned grim. There are many more of these snake demons below. We can't let them come up. With that, he jumped into the den. Buzz. The air rattled as sword beams bloomed. Materialized sword energy surrounded Luo Ao's body and wrapped around him. As he fell, he crashed into the snake demon beasts climbing up. In an instant. PLKCH. 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 Roar. 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 The blade-like sword energy spun rapidly and killed many beasts. Luo Ao endured the pressure and sliced his way to the bottom of the den. Everywhere it passed, the snake demon beasts were dismembered inch by inch, and blood splattered on the walls. The demonic energy that seeped out filled the entire corridor. It wasn't until he passed through the passageway and stepped onto the bottom of the demon's den, standing on the piles of snake demon beast corpses and looking into the distance, that Luo Ao's pupils constricted. Swoosh! The saber beam passed through the passageway of the demon's den. The martial sage of Wei came chasing after him. Brother Luo, are you alright? The Wei nation's martial sage looked around and said, we don't know where these snake demons came from. If we don't figure it out. His words trailed off. His eyes widened as he followed Luo Ao's gaze and looked towards a tall black door in the distance of underground space where they were. He became stunned. Really? The martial sage of the Wei nation gritted his teeth and came back to his senses. He said in shock, the new martial sage of the Yu nation, Kong Xian, was telling the truth. There is really a door of darkness under every demon's den. The void world. Yu nation's region. Su Jingxing's essence soul thought about what martial art to create. A sudden thought came to him. Why should I lean towards a certain attribute or ability? Why can't this martial art contain everything? That's right. After much thought, Su Jingxing's essence soul abandoned all the concepts it had come up with during this period of time. Instead, it put all its ideas together. Like the sea, it contained everything. All rivers flow into the sea. In any case, it's just a theory. Why not give it a try? At the thought of this, Su Jingxing's essence soul held back its excitement, and following the final idea that had been confirmed, it extended and supplemented logically. Half an hour later, the theory was completed. When Su Jingxing destroyed the various strongholds of the Xia family in the Yu nation, apart from obtaining the mighty strength cards and martial arts practice cards from a pile of barbarian corpses, he also obtained a pile of internal force cards, skill cards, true energy cards, true essence cards, equipment cards, and even deduction cards. Although the Xia family had colluded with the new Chu nation, there were also geniuses among them who created their own martial arts. After these people died, the cards extracted from their corpses were deduction cards. There weren't many, only 5 of them. However, there were a total of 20 deductions, with chances of success ranging from 1/6 to 1/3. At this moment, Su Jingxing had completed his self-created martial arts theory. Without batting an eyelid, he took out these 5 deduction cards and began deducing silently. When the deduction card was used to deduce martial arts, it was only done in Su Jingxing's sea of consciousness. There were no abnormal phenomena or movements outside. It was highly unlikely that he could successfully deduce such a martial arts theory that contained everything. Su Jingxing was mentally prepared for this. Not to mention 20 times, even 100 or 200 times might not be enough. However, the outcome was beyond Su Jingxing's expectations. He actually succeeded on his 19th deduction. However, Su Jingxing sensed that it was a little different from the theory he had created. It was not complete. Because he wanted to take in everything, Su Jingxing named this martial art Vast Ocean. Therefore, after carefully sensing it, he confirmed that the created vast ocean was only the beginning. Or rather, there was only the first volume, the first level. The martial art, vast ocean, could still continue to be deduced. He had a total of 20 chances and used 19 of them this time. The last time, Su Jingxing used it to deduce vast ocean. As expected, it could still continue, even though the result was, as expected, a failure. However, Su Jingxing unlocked a true essence card with 6 years of cultivation and tried to absorb and convert it. It was successfully transformed into mutated true essence. It was just that the cultivation had been compressed by about 10 times. In other words, 6 years of true essence cultivation would only be 0.6 years of vast ocean true essence. Although it wasn't a 100% conversion rate like before, Su Jingxing was very satisfied that it could be converted. Glancing at the wisps of demonic energy floating around him, Su Jingxing's heart stirred. He absorbed a wisp of demonic energy into his body and circulated vast ocean to try to refine it. And it turned out successfully achieved, turning the demonic energy into vast ocean true essence. Ha ha ha. Su Jingxing laughed excitedly. Demonic energy could actually be refined. As expected of vast ocean, it could absorb any energy and convert it for his own use. Of course, just the first volume or the first level of the vast sea shouldn't contain everything for now. However, Su Jingxing was already overjoyed that he could absorb the demonic energy. The method to refine demonic energy had long been lost. Now that the vast ocean could do it, it would certainly be an ultimate genius technique. The little demon world was filled with demonic energy, and the demonic energy on the true demon mountain was even denser. If it weren't for the ancient demons, half-demons, and other such demonic creatures, Su Jingxing might be able to let go and devour freely, and the vast ocean true essence obtained might reach a few hundred. No, a few thousand years of cultivation. Currently, the cultivation level of the vast ocean true essence was only 300 years. It was from before the sanctification of his physical body. Su Jingxing wasn't sure if he could refine it again. Such mutated true essence was several times stronger than the heaven-trampling true essence from before, and its ability had also changed. Su Jingxing had to verify more details. Naturally, he couldn't do that now. He had to hide on the tree and wait for the demon soul fruits to ripen. The demonic energy around him fluttered. Su Jingxing resisted it with great determination and did not absorb it. The demon soul fruits were about to ripen. The word "about" was an unknown length. A day passed, and they were still the same. 2 days passed, and they were still the same. The 3rd day, the 4th day. Finally, on the 5th day, a huge aura swept down from True Demon Mountain and arrived at the Demon Cloud Forest. It stopped under the 6th tree in the center of the 6 demon soul fruit trees. These 6 demon soul fruit trees were not together. Instead, there was one in the center and 5 in a circle around it. However, the distance between each demon soul fruit tree was perfectly equal, about 100 meters. Clearly, this was deliberately arranged. The goal was to gather the mysterious power released by the demon soul fruit trees when the fruits ripened for the bone demon to absorb. The bone demon that had come from the top of True Demon Mountain to the center of the demonic soul fruit trees was clearly exposed in Su Jingxing's field of vision. Compared to the half-demon overlord, the bone demon that had lived for countless years was not only more than 10 meters tall, the armor on its body also covered its entire body. Only a pair of flames that represented its soul was revealed, dancing in its dark eyes. There wasn't much demonic energy around it, perhaps it had restrained it. Su Jingxing didn't look at it much. He only took a few glances before looking away. As one of the three ancient demons, the strength of the bone demon comparable to the primordial spirit realm, its perception was definitely powerful. One would be discovered if a few more glances at such an existence. Su Jingxing's goal was to seize the demon soul fruits and destroy the demon soul fruit trees, not to annihilate the bone demon. As such, he shifted his gaze to the other demon soul fruit trees and got ready. On the same arc, each of the 5 demon soul fruit trees on the periphery bore as many as 9 fruits. Su Jingxing planned out the method of seizing in his mind. He only had 3 seconds. So he would pluck 2 demon soul fruits from each tree, making 10 from 5 trees. At the same time, he would destroy the demon soul fruit trees. He confirmed his plan. Su Jingxing took out the invisibility card with a 60-minute duration and held it in his hand, preparing to unlock it. The bone demon descended from the mountain peak and waited under the demon soul fruit tree in the center. Without a doubt, the demon soul fruits were finally about to ripen. Indeed. Early the next morning, in the sky above the little demon world, the branches of the huge tree that blotted out the sky suddenly trembled. The shadows of the trees were overlapped, and emitted a purple halo. Buzz! 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 The air trembled. Affected by the giant tree in the sky, all the demon soul fruit trees on the 3 true demon mountain emitted light at the same time. A special fragrance wafted out from the trees. Swoosh! 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 In Su Jingxing's vision, the glows emitted by the 6 demon soul fruit trees was connected. Whoosh! Accompanied by a ray of white light, a mysterious aura that penetrated straight into one's soul and made one want to groan appeared in the ring of the 6 demon soul fruit trees enveloped in light. Under the demon soul fruit tree in the center, the tall bone demon's body glowed with a black light as it began to absorb this mysterious aura. The moment the bone demon began the absorption, Su Jingxing's heart skipped a beat. An invisible sense of danger emerged out of thin air. Before this, Su Jingxing didn't feel much danger when the bone demon appeared. At this moment, it suddenly erupted without any warning. That mysterious aura was extremely powerful. He could not let the bone demon successfully absorb it. Su Jingxing stabilized his breathing and heartbeat. He quickly unlocked the invisibility card and applied it to his body. Then, swoosh! His speed instantly erupted to the maximum as he rushed towards the nearest demon soul fruit tree. He stretched out both hands at the same time, picking 2 demon soul fruits with one hand and circulating the vast ocean true essence with the other to bombard the demon soul fruit trees with the 100 steps raining fist. Boom! 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 First, there was an explosion, then 4. 5 loud bangs sounded almost at the same time. Accompanying the sounds was a bolt of lightning that circled around the arrangement of the 5 demon soul fruit trees and disappeared into the demon cloud forest. He took 1 second to pluck 10 demon soul fruits and destroy 5 demon soul fruit trees. In his invisible state, he traversed through space and distanced himself from the true demon mountain while devouring the 10 demon soul fruits. This took him 2 seconds. In 3 seconds, Su Jingxing left 100 miles away from True Demon Mountain and swallowed the demon soul fruits. As soon as the 10 demon soul fruits entered his stomach, a warm aura spread from his stomach to his entire body. Under this aura, Su Jingxing's physical body silently underwent a further transformation. This transformation was very magical. It was actually exactly the same as the process of sanctifying his physical body. Even though a small portion of it had been converted into soul power and stored in his consciousness as it passed through his brain. Most of it was used on his body. From the inside out, from top to bottom, every cell was repeatedly tempered, strengthened, and transformed. Su Jingxing, who was traveling through the air, was originally invisible. At this moment, his invisibility lost effect. His entire body was transparent one moment and corporeal the next. One moment, he passed through the air silently, the next, he emitted a dazzling golden red glow. Humph! A dull and suppressed shout suddenly sounded, echoing within the radius of 1,000 miles. Before Su Jingxing could finish digesting and absorbing the energy produced by the demon soul fruit. On the true demon mountain, the huge body of the bone demon soared into the sky. Boom! Space shattered with a deafening bang. The bone demon wrapped in surging black demonic energy passed through the air and arrived above Su Jingxing's head in an instant. The terrifying pressure was vast and mighty, as if the sky had collapsed and was pressing down. Su Jingxing, whose body was transforming, was suppressed. He was forced to stop flying and fall to the ground. However, the moment he landed, Su Jingxing continued to dash off at lightning speed, breaking away from the bone demon's suppression and rushing towards the door of darkness. The bone demon could not pass through the door of darkness. As long as he left the little demon world, Su Jingxing would be able to successfully escape. Speaking of which, if it weren't for the fact that eating the demon soul fruit had caused his body to change and produce a strange phenomena. No matter how furious the bone demon was, it wouldn't be able to discover Su Jingxing. In addition, this fellow actually did not go to the snake demos and sword demon to seize their demon soul fruit trees. Instead, it immediately chased after Su Jingxing. Is killing me more important than breaking through its current realm and leaving the little demon world? Su Jingxing complained inwardly and began crossing space again. Boom! Space shattered. Su Jingxing was struck by a powerful force and staggered backward. With a bang, he crashed into a desolate mountain, creating a huge pit. Swish! 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 A golden red glow flickered on his body, and a warm aura melted by itself in his stomach. Out of the 10 demon soul fruits, only the energy from 9 had been absorbed. The last one dissolved itself. Clearly, he had eaten too much and was no longer effective. At this moment, Su Jingxing had finished absorbing the energy from the 9 demon soul fruits. His entire body was emitting a golden red glow. His mouth, eyes, nose, and ears were also emitting light. Even though he crashed into the mountain and created a huge pit, he was not injured at all. He straightened up and stood up again. Whoosh! 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 His exhaled breaths turned into arrows, and his entire body glowed. A terrifying force coursed through his entire body. At this moment, the illusion from this burst in strength made Su Jingxing feel like he could destroy a planet. Human, spiritual martial arts. A hoarse, dull, angry, and shocked voice sounded in Su Jingxing's mind. The bone demon stood in the air, its burning eyes fixed on Su Jingxing. Demonic energy swirled around it. Human spiritual martial arts. Su Jingxing clenched his fists and felt the explosive power on his body. His glowing eyes looked straight at the bone demon in the air and also sent a voice transmission with his thoughts. What human spiritual martial arts? The invisible danger that appeared a moment ago when the bone demon absorbed the mysterious aura emitted by the demon soul fruit tree had disappeared without a trace as his strength soared. In other words, the current Su Jingxing need not fear the bone demon. This feeling was strange, magical, but real. You don't know. The flames in the bone demon's eyes flickered rapidly. Strangely, it did not attack immediately. Instead, it continued to transmit its voice. Don't you know about the changes in your physical body? I do, Su Jingxing replied. But I only know that I'm very, very strong now, yet I don't know exactly how strong I am, nor have I heard of any spiritual martial arts. Spiritual martial arts is a cultivation method for humans. It's a very difficult path. The bone demon paused for a moment and continued to transmit its voice. I don't know the exact details either. I only know that it's rare for a spiritual martial to be born in dozens of human worlds. Spiritual martial arts are mainly reflected in the physical body. The power controlled is called spiritual essence, and the initial realm is called essence opening. Take you for example. You should be in the second class of the essence opening realm now. As soon as it finished speaking, the bone demon suddenly moved. It tore through space and descended above Su Jingxing's head. Its huge bone claw grabbed down from the sky. Boom boom boom. The air exploded and energy danced. Su Jingxing clenched his fists and instinctively raised them above his head before throwing a punch. Bam! A loud bang spread for 1,000 miles. The golden red fist imprint clashed head-on with the bone claw, forcefully pushing the bone claw away and causing the bone demon's body to sway. But soon, the bone demon slapped down again. The huge other bone claw emitted a dark glow and blocked all of Su Jingxing's escape routes. Boom! Su Jingxing circulated his vast ocean true essence and used the explosive method of the 100 steps raining fist to meet the second bone claw and charge forward savagely. Bam! 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 Muffled explosions resounded continuously through the air. The increasingly condensed fist imprint struck the bone claw. With two strange cracking sounds, it shattered the bone claw. It then brushed past the bone demon's chin and soared into the sky, heading straight for the sky of the little demon world. Boom! At the top of the sky, a dull and oppressive sound echoed under the dark clouds. Roar! The bone demon roared in shock and anger. You're actually in the third class of the essence opening realm. Bang! 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 Su Jingxing ignored it. He circulated his vast ocean true essence and swung his fists at the bone demon at close range again. The ancient demon in the primordial spirit realm was forced to retreat step by step. The armor on its body cracked inch by inch. Hoo hoo hoo. The demonic energy around the bone demon swept toward Su Jingxing without stopping. However, it was useless. They were all dissipated by the golden red glow on Su Jingxing's body. Vast Ocean had another ability, directly dissolve the demonic energy. This ability reduced the might of the bone demon's trump card significantly. As it retreated swiftly, its huge body quickly shrank. As a result, its armor also shrank. Su Jingxing's attack missed. However, in the next second, he continued to lock onto its position and punched the bone demon's head. Bang! The bone demon's head exploded into countless pieces. It shrunk to Su Jingxing's height and swayed as it fell to the ground. Thump! A dull thud reverberated in all directions. Dead? An ancient demon died just like that. Its head exploded into countless pieces, and his bones and body fell apart. The demonic energy on its body no longer condensed and spread out on its own. The baneful aura, killing intent, and soul flames had all disappeared. No matter how one looked at it, it was a scene of death. If it were anyone else, they might have believed it. However, Su Jingxing wasn't fooled because he didn't extract any cards. The bone demon was also a life form, and an incomparably powerful one at that. If such an existence really died, there would definitely be cards extracted. But now, there was no movement at all. Besides, the bone demon had died too easily. Died just because your head exploded? Who are you fooling? Bone demon, bone demon. What was a bone demon? A demonic creature formed from bones. Bones were the foundation of such demonic creatures. The head was just a large piece of bone. Even the head of a bone demon beast half-demon exploded, it would not die immediately, let alone a real bone demon. This fellow was pretending to be dead. Regardless of whether its goal was to ambush Su Jingxing or deceive him into escaping. Su Jingxing was more than happy to cooperate. He pretended to relax. As he exhaled, he circulated 100 years of his vast ocean true essence cultivation and gathered it in his palm. The moment he turned around, he suddenly struck out with his palm and struck the bone demon's body. Under the dazzling golden red light, most of the bone demon's body was reduced to dregs. The remaining half of its body quickly turned illusory and soared into the sky. Who? 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 Amidst the surging demonic energy, the remaining half of the body regenerated bones and a head at a speed visible to the naked eye. In less than 2 seconds, the bone demon reappeared in midair. In its pitch-black eyes, soul flames danced violently as it stared fixedly at Su Jingxing. Swish! Without any nonsense, the skeleton body of the bone demon that had failed in its plan rushed towards Su Jingxing as it alternated swiftly between being illusory and corporeal. The reconstructed bone claw tore through the air and cornered Su Jingxing from behind, launching a pincer attack. Boom boom boom. Su Jingxing punched out like a dragon, his vast ocean true essence erupting with 200 years of cultivation. Bam! The bone demon's bone claw was completely shattered, and its illusory body was also penetrated, revealing a huge hole in its chest. The reconstructed skeleton was once again covered in cracks and could shatter at any time. Boom! Whoosh! With a single punch, it could no longer hold on and completely shattered. However, in the next second, all the debris swarmed up to Su Jingxing and wrapped around him like iron pieces attracted by a magnet. Swoosh! 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 In all directions, in the soil, on the slopes and underground, all the bones, whether they were complete bones or broken bones. At this moment, under the guidance of an invisible force, they left their original spots and flew towards Su Jingxing, piecing together. Crack! 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 Pieces of bones and skeletons surrounded Su Jingxing tightly. Su Jingxing swung his fists but missed. Even when he released the vast ocean true essence to cleanse his body, it was useless. The golden-red glow that had been invincible a moment ago had also lost its effect. On the contrary, the bone demon that enveloped Su Jingxing began to move. First, it restricted Su Jingxing's breathing. Then, it kept squeezing him from the outside to the inside. This squeezing was not only targeted at his physical body, but also his soul. Its final wisp of aura kept stimulating Su Jingxing's consciousness and will, causing his mind to become dizzy in his will to die. Without confidence, without mental strength, without the will to resist, and not even to live, he wanted to self-destruct and end everything. Killing move. This was the bone demon's true killing move. A soft killing move that even a so-called spiritual martial artist in the 3rd class could not avoid. Su Jingxing sensed it immediately. He bit the tip of his tongue and resisted forcefully, thinking of a solution. Originally, releasing spirit annihilation was the most suitable. However, now that the bone demon's entire body was covering Su Jingxing would be in trouble if he released spirit annihilation. Other martial arts were useless, and soul skills could not be used. As for the remaining secret abilities. Heaven trampling elephant. Yes, there was also martial art true intent. After his physical body was sanctified, he had never used it again. With the intention of counterattacking, Su Jingxing first activated his martial art true intent, the Sisui Horn Dragon. Roar! A black demonic dragon snarled and appeared, charging at the bleak aura on the bone demon's body. It actually successfully blocked the corrosion of the aura at the first moment. The appearance of the Sisui Horn Dragon had also changed greatly compared to before. Now, it had become a black demonic dragon. Puh! In Su Jingxing's pleasant surprise, an elephant cry sounded. The heaven-trampling elephant was visualized in his sea of consciousness to support the Sisui Horn Dragon in breaking through the dismal aura. The Sisui Horn Dragon that had transformed into a black demonic dragon was even more lifelike than before. It transformed into a physical entity and charged towards the layers of bones and skeletons that wrapped around Su Jingxing's body. The powerful squeezing force that the bone demon exerted on Su Jingxing was successfully stopped. Finally, his own martial art true intent manifested. Su Jingxing did not move. His martial art true intent overlapped with his body. Although they overlapped, Su Jingxing quickly discovered that his martial art true intent was not restrained by the strange power of the bone demon. His martial art true intent was still free. Sensing this, Su Jingxing's heart stirred as he sensed for the true core of the bone demon. The bone demon core was indeed a bone, but it was impossible for every piece of bone to be a core. Only the most special piece was the core. If he found this piece and crushed it into powder, the bone demon might really die. Where is this bone? Su Jingxing sensed for a while but did not find anything. In the next second, he simply circulated the 6 comets records to deduce it. He found it this time. Buzz. Space shook. Su Jingxing's martial art true intent left his body without warning. It grabbed a bone fragment the size of a goose egg and took a few steps forward. Impossible. The bone demon's terrified voice sounded in Su Jingxing's mind. Nothing is impossible. Su Jingxing growled. Taking advantage of the moment and the bone demon was distracted, he executed the demonic elephant physique and his body expanded with a bang, turning into a 4-meter-tall giant that broke through the layers of bones wrapped around his body. The moment he broke through, he released one shot of spirit annihilation. At the same time, his self-martial art true intent threw a bone fragment the size of a goose egg at the right time. It was struck squarely by spirit annihilation. No. The bone demon's terrified scream cut off midway. Under the impact of spirit annihilation, the goose egg-sized bone fragment instantly turned into countless tiny pieces. As if it was raining, they slowly landed on the ground. But the bone demon was still alive. This ancient existence that had lived for an unknown period of time was still alive. Su Jingxing still did not receive any extraction notifications. This meant that even if the core bone turned into countless pieces like powder, the bone demon was still alive. Swoosh! Realizing this, Su Jingxing released the second shot of spirit annihilation without another word. If one shot wasn't enough, 2 shots it shall be. The second shot of spirit annihilation washed through the air and landed on the sheet of powdery fragments on the ground. It directly destroyed all the fragments and wiped them out clean. Card +1. Dead. This time, the bone demon was finally dead. Who? Exhaling, Su Jingxing removed the demonic elephant physique and shrunk back to his original size. He sat on the pile of bones on the ground and took out a large bottle of strength pills. He poured them into his mouth to replenish his body's energy. Even though the side effects of using the demonic elephant physique after his physical body reached the transcendent grade were very insignificant, as long as it was a side effect, Su Jingxing would not give it a chance to be strengthened. It was just strength pills. He had plenty of them. After finishing the large bottle of strength pills and replenishing his energy, Su Jingxing was back to his usual condition. At this moment, he took out the card he had extracted and held it to read the information. Memory card. The card extracted from the bone demon after its death actually contained just a segment of memories. This was a bone demon, an ancient demonic creature. Even if we're to drop an equipment card to give the function of the bone demon's core true body, that would be pretty good. It's actually a memory card. Su Jingxing shook his head and regretfully unlocked the card to browse through the bone demon's memories. Once he began, his interest was piqued. Although the memory card did not contain the lifetime memories of the bone demon, only more than 10,000 years of memories after the bone demon entered the little demon world. The information revealed in these memories was an eye-opener for Su Jingxing. Firstly, the establishment of the little demon world did not rely on the bone demon, the snake demon, and the sword demon. Instead, it relied on a tree branch. A tree branch that fell from the world tree. It was this branch of the world tree that supported the little demon world. The giant tree in the sky that Su Jingxing saw was not a real giant tree, but a projection of this branch. Its main body floated at the top of the sky. Holding up an independent small world was the ability of this world tree branch. The bone demon, the snake demon, and the sword demon had merely transformed this small world into a small demon world filled with demonic energy. Of course, special methods were also required to use the World Tree branch to support the small world. Through the Bone Demon's memories, Su Jingxing successfully memorized this method. In other words, as long as Su Jingxing obtained the World Tree branch that floated at the top of the sky, he would be able to hold up an independent small world again. Unfortunately, the Bone Demon, the Snake Demon, and the Sword Demon had set up a restriction at the peak of the sky. This restriction covered the surroundings of the World Tree branch and could not be forcefully broken. Forcefully doing so would destroy the branch as well. To get rid of the restrictions, the only way was to kill the three ancient demons, the Bone Demon, the Snake Demon, and the Sword Demon. In other words, if the Bone Demon, the Snake Demon, and the Sword Demon were all dead, the restriction would automatically dissipate. At this point, Su Jingxing sighed to himself. Without this restriction, he would have directly stolen the World Tree branch and quickly escaped the Little Demon world. The Snake Demon, the Sword Demon, and the hundreds of millions of other half-demons and demon slaves would disappear into the void with the Little Demon world without him having to take action. This was really a pity. Secondly, as ancient demons, the Bone Demon knew the characteristics and weaknesses of the Snake Demon and Sword Demon very well. This was a great thing for Su Jingxing. With the true demons, every race had their own innate abilities. The same went for the Bone Demon, the Snake Demon, and the Sword Demon. Knowing the strengths of the Snake Demon and the Sword Demon, Su Jingxing could dodge their killing moves in advance. Knowing their weaknesses, he could take the opportunity to kill them. This saved Su Jingxing a lot of trouble in finding the Snake Demon and the Sword Demon subsequently. It would take about 3 days for the Snake Demon and Sword Demon to absorb the mysterious power emitted by the Demon Soul Fruit Tree. Therefore, Su Jingxing had plenty of time to slowly search for them. The maturation of the Demon Soul Fruit Tree was also related to the World Tree branch. The Bone Demon, the Sword Demon, and the Snake Demon had calculated the time and stimulated the World Tree branch, which caused the Demon Soul Fruit Trees to completely mature. In addition, if the Demon Soul Fruit Trees were destroyed, they could grow back. Although the Demon Soul Fruits would be gone after that, the trees could still release mysterious power. This was the reason why the Bone Demon did not seize the Demon Soul Fruit Trees from the Snake Demon and the Sword Demon after discovering that Su Jingxing had destroyed 5 of them and instead, pursued him. Bale Tutor, an ordinary half-demon, had no idea about all this information. Secondly, there was also how to create half-demons, forge the door of darkness, the different species of demons, the birth of demonic energy. A bunch of secrets among secret information to Su Jingxing. And finally, the information related to spiritual martial arts that the Bone Demon recalled. Spiritual martial arts was a cultivation path created by human experts to become stronger. Correspondingly, there was also divine martial arts. In other words, it was the cultivation system where one condensed a divine embryo and hatched an essence soul. After going through the void soul, soul fixation, and soul formation stages, one would accomplish the primordial spirit. Divine martial arts was also the main path to becoming stronger for the various human worlds in the universe. This path was very wide and had existed for millions of years. The primordial spirit realm was just the beginning. Above the primordial spirit were the soul platform realm, cloud ascension realm. In comparison, the path of spiritual martial arts was much more difficult. Spiritual martial arts were mainly about the transformation of the physical body, repeated transformations. Su Jingxing's physical body had been sanctified and he had stepped into the transcendent grade. In reality, this realm was called the essence opening realm. It was also just the beginning. There were a total of 9 classes in the essence opening realm. With every transformation, one advanced to the next level. Even though the essence opening realm was the beginning of spiritual martial arts. Compared to divine martial arts, the 9th class of the essence opening realm of spiritual martial arts was enough to match primordial spirit, soul platform, and cloud ascension realms of divine martial arts. In other words, at the 3rd class of the essence opening realm, one could contend against the primordial spirit realm. This was also the reason why the bone demon that Su Jingxing could fight had no choice but to disintegrate and deal with Su Jingxing with its final killing move. The power of spiritual martial arts was simply too strong. The spiritual essence grasped could kill physical bodies, soul bodies, energy bodies, and many other existences. The true essence that had mutated in Su Jingxing's Dantian was called spiritual essence. Of course, now that he had vast ocean, it was more appropriate to call it vast ocean spiritual essence. In the spiritual martial arts system, when one was powerful, it was extremely difficult to improve. Every transformation of the physical body required a large amount of spiritual essence. And condensing spiritual essence was also extremely difficult. In the bone demon's memories, for the spiritual essence that a human spiritual martial artist spends 1,000 years to condense, a divine martial artist could cultivate the corresponding cultivation in 10 years. The difference in efficiency was 100 times. In other words, Su Jingxing's current 300 years of spiritual essence cultivation was equivalent to 30,000 years of cultivation for a divine martial artist. No wonder he could rival the primordial spirit realm at the 3rd class. The difference in cultivation was too great. Su Jingxing was speechless when he saw this. Oh right, there's more. The lifespan of a spiritual martial artist was not something that a divine martial artist could compare to. Only when one reached the primordial spirit realm would their lifespan increase again, reaching 1,080 years. On the other hand, spiritual martial artists in the 1st class of the essence opening realm could already live for 1,800 years. In the 2nd class of the essence opening realm, one's lifespan would increase again, reaching 3,600 years. In the 3rd class, the increase continues to reach 5,400 years. In the 9th class of the essence opening realm, one could live for 16,200 years. The transformation Su Jingxing's physical body had undergone when he sanctified it had been significant. He had directly stepped into the 2nd class of the essence opening realm. Then, he absorbed the energy from the mighty strength cards and strength pills to push his realm to a bottleneck. That was the limit of the 2nd class of the essence opening realm. After consuming 9 demon soul fruits, he broke through his limits and entered the 3rd class of the essence opening realm. This meant that so long as he remained healthy and safe, he could live for 5,400 years. Having a long lifespan was one of the specialties of a spiritual martial artist. Of course, Su Jingxing had also learned a little about the difficulty of advancing as a spiritual martial artist through the memories of the bone demon. This was mainly because every transformation of the physical body required a massive amount of resources. Some resources were easy to find, but some were difficult. For example, the demon soul fruits that can allow one to break through his limits weren't available on Earth Star at all. The demon soul fruit tree was a strange plant that the ancient demons had brought from the actual demon world. It was a heavenly treasure. Su Jingxing was lucky to have encountered demon soul fruits that were about to ripen. It was unknown how long it would take for other spiritual martial artists to find similar treasures. Not to mention, Su Jingxing had created vast ocean himself. It could absorb all kinds of energy and convert them directly into spiritual essence. Using spiritual essence to cleanse his body and reach the bottleneck of each class was the most reliable way to improve. With vast ocean, Su Jingxing could still unlock the internal force cards, true energy cards, and true essence cards and absorb the energies into his dantian. Therefore, compared to other spiritual martial artists, Su Jingxing did not lack resources. Of course, while spiritual martial arts had formidable combat strength and astonishing defense, it also had lacking aspects. That was, one could not cross outer space. The outer space was almost a vacuum area. The crossing of space by spiritual martial artists did not include vacuum areas. Even after entering the dark area of the void world, one could not leave the territory of their nation in the void world. This was because the space and time in the darkness of the void world were extremely chaotic. Once one left the territory of their nation and could not return in time, they would be wrapped up in chaotic space and time and get thrown to any corner of the universe. Broken worlds, annihilated stars, twisted wormholes. All were possible. If one was really thrown into these places, there was basically no chance of survival. Divine martial artists were different. After the Soul Platform was created, it would be protected by the Soul Platform Divine Light. Riding the Soul Platform, one could cross the starry sky and shuttle through the void world. The Soul Platform Divine Light could effectively resist the chaos of space and time and prevent being swept away. At this time, a Soul Platform was equivalent to a ship. This also led to the default rule of not entering the dark areas of the void world unless one was in the Soul Platform realm. Therefore, spiritual martial arts and divine martial arts each had their own strengths. Most of the people who faced these two paths took the path of divine martial arts. Spiritual martial arts were indeed powerful, but it was too difficult to advance. Su Jingxing didn't have a headache. He would take both paths. Because he had the conditions to dual cultivate. This is the will of the heavens forcing me to take both paths. Su Jingxing took out a set of clothes from his space and put them on. He rubbed his chin and sighed happily. At the third class of the Essence Opening Realm, one could rival the primordial spirit realm of divine martial arts. Su Jingxing was confident that he could deal with the remaining snake demon and sword demon. The demon soul fruits had no effect on him, but the mysterious aura emitted by the demon soul fruit tree was still effective. Kill the snake demon and the sword demon, replace them, and absorb the mysterious aura. In any case, the snake demon and the sword demon could not pass through the door of darkness and leave the little demon world. He would kill them one by one, without fear that they would escape. He made his decision. Su Jingxing rested for a moment. Taking advantage of the fact that the invisibility card's effect had resumed and its duration was not up yet, he quickly soared into the air and traversed through space, heading for the true demon mountain occupied by the snake demon. The second true demon mountain was also tall and filled with demonic energy. The 6 demon soul fruit trees were arranged in a circle, with one in the center. Under the demon soul fruit tree in the center, the ferocious snake demon with the head of a snake and the lower body of a snake and the upper body of a human sat cross-legged on the ground, motionless. Its 100-meter-long and thick body absorbed the mysterious aura released by the demon soul fruit tree. Su Jingxing did not intend to destroy these demon soul fruit trees again. For this, he had to lure the snake demon away and move to another area. Through the bone demon's memories, Su Jingxing had learned the snake demon's strengths and weaknesses. Immediately, he followed the plan. He deliberately approached the demon soul fruit tree in the center. Under the 5 trees scattered on the periphery, a bunch of snake demon half-demons were gathered to discuss who would pluck the demon soul fruits. The battle between half-demons would not be abandoned immediately just because one was easier to negotiate with. With these half-demons guarding the demon soul fruit trees, unless Su Jingxing was crazy, he wouldn't get into a conflict with them at this time. He deliberately approached the center to attract the snake demon's attention. In the end, it was unknown if this fellow was deliberately pretending not to notice, or if he was really immersed in his own world and was absorbing the mysterious aura without moving. Su Jingxing floated past its head a few times, but the snake demon did not react. The invisibility state was powerful, but Su Jingxing refused to believe that it could fool the ancient demon's close-range perception. There was only one explanation for the snake demon ignoring him. It thought nothing of Su Jingxing. Compared to Su Jingxing, absorbing the mysterious aura was more important. This was seriously divorced from Su Jingxing's plan. Since the snake demon pretended not to notice, Su Jingxing would force it to notice him. Swish! Su Jingxing took out a bucket of corpse-dissolving liquid from his palm space. When it floated over the snake demon's head again, Su Jingxing opened the lid of the bucket and the corpse-dissolving liquid poured down onto its head and upper body.